Hello, welcome to Soulmate Coach Crystal, where you attract, create, and maintain relationships that are lasting and loving. Today I'm going to talk about 4 principles that I've learned that really just change my marriage, change any relationship that I'm in with anyone, but in particular my marriage. I read this book called Boundaries in Marriage about 16, 17 years ago. And in the book, there was this outline of setting boundaries. And I guess that's what this ultimately would be. But I call it something different. I put my own words to it. And it's called what I call getting to the root of your own issues and owning them. Expressing your issues. Being willing to ask for what you want. And then setting the expectation of what the other person can expect from you. And so I'm going to give you a story to really show you this. It's a story that happened in my own life, happened about 13, 14 years ago when I was married to my late husband in my first marriage before he passed away. And my late husband, God rest his soul, he just had a tendency of being late. And in the early part of our marriage, he was late a lot. And I would really get angry about it. And so, like, I was a hairstylist, and I would, really work to wrap my clients up to be home by a certain time. Let's say we're going to go to the movies at 8. And so I'd really work to wrap my clients up and set my schedule, my books, so my clients would know, look, I got to be out of here by 6:30 because I'm going to the movies with my husband at 8 and got to go. And so I do all this work to be home, by 7 o'clock, sitting waiting for him by 7:30. 7:45 I get a call. Oh, I ran late doing what I'm doing. We can go to let's go to the 9 o'clock. There's a 9 o'clock movie already checked. We can go to that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. I'm sitting here waiting. I changed my schedule, worked hard to get out of there, and now you're going to tell me an hour later? And we would argue about this, and on more than one occasion, various things, but that same type of thing, we'd argue about it. And I remember reading the book and going, oh, okay. And so these are the steps. I haven't read the book actually in all these years. And I tell you, this is something that revolutionized my marriage. I mean, totally changed it. And so this is what I learned. A, be willing to get to the root of my own issues and own them. When he was late, I felt unappreciated. I felt that my time didn't matter. And you know what I did? I sat here. I waited for him to get here, and I fussed him out about it. I wasn't valuing my own time. I wasn't honoring myself there. And so that was the first thing, to really own and get to the root of, why is it that when he's late, my response is he doesn't care, or I'm being taken for granted? What happens in me? Because, that old thing, people can tease you or say things to you, but it's your choice as to whether you're going to feel a certain way about it. And so that kind of applied there. Like, okay, it's my choice on whether I'm going to feel taken for granted. It's my choice on whether I'm going to sit here and be angry. And so I got to first get to the root of my own issue and then own it. Second, I went to him in a time that there was no argument going on, no animosity in the marriage, no tension or frustration. And I said, boo, when you're late, it just really makes me feel like you're taking me for granted. I really feel taken for granted. And I feel stepped over. Now, I'm not saying that that's your intention. And I even could go out and go, because you're such a good husband, I doubt if that's your intention. I doubt if you're out somewhere purposely going, I'm going to make her feel taken for granted. But that's what I feel. Wow. It was like, really? I never realized that. I never thought about that, So then here comes the next part. So asking for what I want. And so if you're going to be late, can you let me know at least 30 to 45 minutes before? Now, if you're going to be late, let me know. Sure, cool, I'll let you know, and great, apologies and everything. Fourth part, expectation. And so if you're not here, and if I don't get a call at least 45 minutes before you're running late, I'm going to leave. You can expect that I won't sit here and wait. Not because I'm angry, not because I'm mad with you, but because it doesn't feel good to me to sit and wait for you to get here. And so what you can expect is that I will leave without you, and we can do something together another time. The key there is that it was all about me. There was no blaming, no you this, you that. When you do this, I feel. But no, I took my power back. It was no longer I had to wait. If he didn't act right, I wouldn't get to feel good. If he wasn't on time, I wouldn't get, I would have to feel taken for granted. I realized, wow. And I can also lay a foundation here where he can understand what's happening. And I think I left him once, and he didn't like it. And so after that, he was pretty much on time. And again, this isn't about payback. This isn't about get back. This isn't about, bitterness or anger or I'm going to show him. This really is about getting to the root of what's going on with you, being willing to own your stuff, being willing to work on you first, and then letting your partner, your husband know, this is what's going on for me. This is what I don't like. This is what I'm working through, and this is what I need you to do. This is what I need from you. And if I don't get this from you, then this is what you can count. This is what you can expect from me. So I hope that helps. And really look at your relationship and see where, whenever we're blaming, that's a clear sign that we're putting our own stuff on someone else. He this, he that, they this, they that, they said, all signs. So when you catch yourself doing that, stop. What is really going on for me? What's the root of what's happening here for me? And own it. And then make a commitment to work on yourself in that area. That's like the first step. Everything else, comes later. But when you're working on yourself, that's the place where the truth really can shine. And you really get to have the life that you want, and the relationship that you want. Because you're not waiting on your husband to act right so you can be happy. You found your place of true happiness. Not that, I don't care what he do, girl, I ain't thinking about him happiness. True happiness. Peace. Even in the midst of all that's going on. Well, that's it for today. I look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday. Take care, and I will talk with you soon. Blessings.